5 News This Morning starts now.
I got past the barn, I heard gunshots.
A Pennsylvania community is mourning the loss of 3 officers killed in a shooting. Ahead, we'll have a first look at people lining the streets for the procession.
As we're waking up this morning, seeing a little bit of sunshine, and you're like, it's gonna be the same day all over again. Well, kind of. It's gonna change a little bit with more active rain chances. Let's talk more about that coming up.
Well, some of the top women's golfers making their way to Pinnacle Hills Country Club for the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. Coming up, we'll tell you about the volunteer work that makes this all possible.
But first, we'll take a live look outside, this time over Fayetteville this morning, 6:30 this morning. Good morning to you there. That sun starting to come up for us this morning.
Yeah, Denny, you had the look there. Like, those were the prize shots. Sunrises great across the board today.
Yeah, it's great across the board. So we're waking up to a very similar feel, right? It's like, I feel like it's been the same morning every week, right? It feels like Groundhog Day, but things are going to change a little bit starting today, especially later this afternoon, where we'll have those storm chances like we've been seeing, but they're going to increase in coverage. And then tomorrow morning is going to be a lot different because I expect more rain chances to fill in. Right now, we're seeing a partly cloudy sky across much of the region. So as that sun's about to rise in the next half hour, we are going to see a little bit more cloud cover, but really it's going to be much of the same as it has been previous mornings, where it's just going to be nice, sunny, but a little bit on the warmer side. So temperatures, as you walk out the door to the bus stop, will be in the 60s. For recess or lunchtime, will be right around the 80s, be pretty warm and muggy. And then as you're heading home, we'll see a chance of scattered storms really start to pick up, I think, after 1 o'clock, and some of those could be on the stronger side. Rain chances are going to stay with us for really the next 7 days at least. Today and especially tomorrow morning. Then it'll clear up for tomorrow evening, be a little bit drier Saturday morning before picking back up Saturday afternoon. Again, really continuing over the next 7 days. So as we see those rain chances, yeah, it will be pretty nice tomorrow evening. So tomorrow evening, any plans should be okay, but it's really going to be an active next 7 days ahead with a lot of those rain chances. We'll talk more about that here and get you ready for the rest of the week coming up in your full forecast. For now, take a live look at traffic on this Thursday morning. Take a live look near the Lowell area along I-49 at Oakwood Avenue. Good morning to you there. No incidents to report so far this morning, but again, maybe have that umbrella raincoat, at least know where it is, because we're going to have those rain chances pretty often this week. We'll talk more about it coming up in about 15 minutes. Joe and Emily.
All right, thanks for that, Denny. Well, new video shows a procession for 3 officers who lost their lives in a shooting in York County, Pennsylvania.
5 members of law enforcement were shot while trying to arrest a suspect on Wednesday. Amy Kiley has more.
This kind of violence isn't okay.
3 officers are dead and 2 are gravely wounded after a shooting in central Pennsylvania yesterday. Officials say the injured are York County sheriffs and the deceased were Northern York regional officers.
This is an absolutely tragic and devastating day for York County and for the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Sources say the officers were trying to arrest the suspect and serve a restraining order involving his ex-girlfriend.
This involves stalking repeatedly, criminal acts to cause fear, loitering and prowling at night, criminal trespass, simple trespass.
Officials say the shooter was wearing camouflage and waiting in a cornfield when officers arrived.
When I got past the barn, I heard gunshots. I just saw a lot of chaos and saw some bodies.
Officials say the suspect is dead after law enforcement returned fire. Attorney General Pam Bondi says federal agents are investigating. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says the tragedy is a reminder to appreciate first responders. He's also calling for more efforts to prevent gun violence.
We need to do better when it comes to looking out for those who are in need, so we don't have to deal with tragedies like this.
It also is a reminder, especially with emotionally charged situations, domestic situations, how fast and how violently these things can spin out of control.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, today, President Trump will head to the country home of UK's Prime Minister. They'll take part in high-level meetings with trade expected at the top of the agenda. Already, the 2 countries have announced a tech partnership on AI and emerging technologies. The 2 countries say the deal will bring thousands of jobs to the U.S. and UK. On Wednesday, President Trump spent time with the King and Queen of the United Kingdom, attending a lavish welcoming ceremony at Windsor Castle and a state dinner.
Well, new details this morning about how the manhunt for Charlie Kirk's suspected killer came to an end. Utah's Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby says suspect Tyler Robinson's family arranged for him to surrender, and he negotiated with the sheriff to turn himself in.
He was fearful of a SWAT team hit on his house, or he was fearful of being shot by law enforcement.
Students returned to Utah Valley University on Wednesday, 1 week after the shooting on campus. The suspect is in jail without bond. His next court hearing is September 29th.
Right?
Kirk's memorial is set for this Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. You can watch it live streaming on 5 News Plus. Coverage begins at noon.
Well, ABC has hit pause on Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. The late night show was suspended after Kimmel made comments during his Monday night monologue about the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk.
Some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
In response, Chairman of the Federal Communications Commission spoke on a conservative podcast. He said in part, broadcast networks have an obligation to operate in the public interest and they can find ways to take action on Kimmel. Soon after, local broadcast groups Sinclair and Nexstar announced they'd preempt Kimmel. Then ABC announced it would pull the host indefinitely, but the network has not explained its decision. On social media, President Trump called the move great news for America. In continuing coverage this morning, the FBI is now investigating former Northwest Arkansas psychiatrist Dr. Brian Hyatt.
The FBI is looking for potential victims who could have been held against their will by Hyatt, who once led the behavioral health unit at Northwest Medical Center in Springdale. Only on 5 News, we spoke with a few alleged victims who say that with investigators stepping in, it makes them feel more seen and heard. William Van Wy says that he was at the behavioral health unit for 5 days in 2022, and he claims he was held against his will.
I am over the moon. I'm really excited that, people are stepping in and seeing the horrible things that he's been doing.
Hyatt also faces Medicaid fraud charges in a separate criminal case. His trial date has been pushed back 3 times since Hyatt's initial arrest in 2023. He's been arrested 2 more times on charges involving alcohol. Right now, Hyatt is involuntarily committed to a treatment center.
Well, a Fort Smith massage therapist is facing sexual assault charges. 51-year-old Raymond Graham is now out of the Sebastian County Jail on a $50,000 bond. According to court documents, 2 clients reported he inappropriately touched them during their massage. An affidavit says this all happened last October at the Inner Peace Massage and Body Studio. Graham is charged with 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault and forcible compulsion.
The man found guilty of hitting and killing a Pea Ridge teen last year will now spend 15 years in prison. On Tuesday, a jury found Gregory Payne guilty of leaving the scene of an accident involving death, driving while intoxicated, and driving on an invalid license. Payne was originally charged with negligent homicide, but that was dropped based on the Benton County prosecutor's decision.
The city of Fayetteville state funding is in jeopardy after the state's attorney general sent the city a letter accusing it of violating state law. An opinion from the Attorney General, Tim Griffin, says the city broke the law by adopting a sanctuary policy in response to ICE activity. It centers around a June incident when state police asked for assistance from Fayetteville PD. At the time, the city confirmed an officer went out but left once seeing ICE was there. 5 News spoke with State Representative Kendon Underwood, who called for the state to stop sending funds to the city.
Basically, they confirmed what was clear to me back in June was that the city of Fayetteville had a sanctuary city policy, which was in violation of Arkansas law.
Fayetteville leaders say they're not violating any policy. Mayor Molly Ron's office released a statement to us saying that the city has never had written policy that affirms the existence of a sanctuary policy. She also said her comments should not be interpreted as supporting or establishing this policy.
Well, 5 News has obtained new records that paint a clearer picture of alleged misconduct by the experienced Fayetteville CEO. Ryan Hawk was placed on administrative leave less than 2 months after taking over. The chair of Fayetteville's Advertising and Promotions Commission says a special meeting to discuss the matter is set to happen today. In 3 separate employee complaints, Hawk is accused of making inappropriate comments. One complaint says that Hawk called the Church of Latter-day Saints a, quote, cult.